So it's raining once again. The sky's full of rain. You can see it dribbling down over here, but it's been raining all day. It's a pretty rainy kind of day. Don't know what else to say about the day, but that branch looks like it's gonna break. That one there, the thinner one. All the trees seem to be falling down. I don't really know why. I don't understand it, but something to do with the wind and the weather makes them all fall down. So they mustn't be very strong trees. That's what you notice. Trees are so flimsy, and you're like, what's the first thing you do when you're on a property? You plant a tree. So I don't actually remember what I was saying. Something about the wet weather, but it is kind of freezing. That air is really cold. It's very wintry, and like I said, it's been raining on and off all day. Lightweight rain, so it's not very disturbing. No thunder, no lightning, just rain. So it's good that we had the rain, but it's kind of chilly. Like the hairs on my arms are kind of like risen, and I didn't have to do anything outside that much. I have been needing to drop some stuff at the in the city, in the town, and I wanted to buy a heap of junk food for no particular reason. I have like a $20 voucher and I haven't used it yet, and it's like, I'm yet to use it. So I do want to use it sometime. I was gonna buy a lot of microwavable foods, maybe some foods that I haven't tried for a while or something, but I haven't gone down to the shops or anywhere because I've been working so much. So, yeah, I mean, literally, I had Monday to do whatever I needed to do, and I couldn't have been bothered going Monday because it was super hot, and I was like, I'm not going to go outside. So, but today is just like a lot of working, so despite the wet weather, I wouldn't notice what the weather's really doing, anyways, because I was just so stuck inside staring at a computer. I was so sick of it, like, by the end, I was starting to get narky, and then I had to go on a break for 10 minutes. And then that helped to refresh me, but literally it's not the best job because I don't do all the fancy breaks that other jobs do. Usually other jobs have a couple of hours and 20 minutes, then a couple of hours and an hour's break, and then a couple of hours and then another 20 minutes. This one does 5 minutes per hour, or you can take a break every 3 hours and get like 15 minutes. So I literally give myself a 15-minute break and then a 10-minute break later. And that usually covers the hours, but still, it's not like very many breaks. And it's a little bit unfair, but, I'm dealing with it. So, in retrospect, I sort of get kind of tired, talking. Today, my voice went to conk out. The other day, I was talking to someone and my voice did conk out, and I had to hang up really quickly because sometimes my voice box doesn't make sound, and I have to sort of massage it and stuff to make sure that it's working again. If I ever did that and didn't make any sound forever, I would probably have to see a specialist. But I think it has something probably to do with the stuff that I did when I was like younger. Over like 10 years ago. It sort of involved some risky things, and I think I have a little bit of a issue with talking in some ways, but either that or my throat's just tied. But the other day I was like going, and oh my gosh, I can't talk. And so even today, like I kept on having to massage my throat. But the other day, it just went blank. Like I couldn't make sound. Like it was like breathing through your vocals without making sound. So if you ever put something in comparison, you have like, that Jennifer Chick of the Hunger Games playing Katniss and stuff. And, how she's sort of like going rasping through her throat because she had a collision with Peter, and she has like that thing on her neck, and at first it's trying to get her to talk and she can't. So it's sort of like that kind of sound, like an empty breathy sound, which just cannot make words. And so um, I was like, oh darn, if that sticks, I would have to go see someone about it because it was literally sounded very like I just couldn't make anything but like that kind of airy, unable to talk kind of sound, and I was like, geez, So, what if these patches have been glued together and then it's starting to unstick or something? Sort of what I'm saying. But either way, uh, yeah, I've had like a lot of collisions in the past, and I'm like, maybe my voice, on some trip just can't make sound. I was very worried for like 2 seconds, and then I got over it, and then I was like, oh no, I just needed to drink some water and massage it a bit, and everything's a-okay. So, you know, um, it's a little bit of a complex issue that I would have to come across if it ever came into being a substantial issue to last a long duration of time. So, um, but anyway, uh, I I'm all good. The other day, it fixed up within a couple of seconds. Um, Today, my voice was straining. Like I'm near the middle to the end of it. I was drinking more and more water to try and massaging my voice box to try and get my words keep coming, because my voice is like I talk and I just my voice wants to not make sound. So and I'm like all it has to do is conk out, and I'll have to be like taking the day off or something. So maybe stick to data entry jobs in the future. I don't know. That would probably mean I would have to work in an office because I don't think hardly anyone does data entry only jobs working from home. So yeah. Anyway, that will come to place if ever anything is a withstanding issue. Um, at the moment, I'm just like exhausting myself talking and talking and talking and talking, and then I do a half an hour extra of more talking for these other workplaces that I haven't quite given away the job or anything, and so it's like lots and lots of talking. That's a lot of talking during a day, and I'm like, my voice can't take it. Literally, I can talk. Like right now, I'm talking. It's more natural though. But when I don't have to read something, like I just talk natural, and it's like, yeah, sure, I can talk, but when you're working, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. My voice just doesn't want to work anymore. So I was encountering stage two of that today. Stage one was yesterday, stage two is today, and who knows how it's going to be like tomorrow. I've got 2 more days till the end of the week, and so I've got 2 more days of work, and then I can relax and think about some other stuff. But I just realized I have to do more things for my internet based stuff because today I only got like $40. Usually I can get like $200, and so I was like, oh, I better make some more stuff for this site and stuff. Um, so that's probably one thing that I want to do. Another thing that I want to do is try and find my next story that I want to write, because I finished my previous one. It didn't sell, so now I have to focus on a new one. So now I just have to focus on a new one. I was watching this movie last night called Genius about this writer who was needing to write and edit a book for like 2 years to get like this most fantastic novel the world's ever seen kind of thing. And you're like, how can someone spend 2 years editing for 300 words, 350 words an error? And you're like going, oh my gosh, on my computer I can do that like in one afternoon. But I guess back then it was like, everyone wants everything perfect, and it was pen and paper anyways, and so it's a lot more slow. And you know, like virtually like one of my last assignments, I had to cut back like 200 words, and I could do it like in half an hour. So in retrospect, you're like going, oh my gosh, back then they must have been so perfecting on the little things, and you know but who am I to judge, because I just fast write and I don't have top quality work. And so I guess to have a really great work, you need to concentrate a lot more or something and be that kind of perfectionist. But anyway, what am I saying? Yeah, so I need to find myself a story. I need to do some work for that other site so that I can get at least $200 a month from it. And I don't know what else was I gonna do. I did my magazine. I was good. I did all the measuring up in one afternoon. It took like 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, for me to edit everything and then redo all the pictures for this month. But I did it in the end. I'm the genius. I'm the pro. Um, it's just a nonsense hobby thing that I'm sort of do in my spare time. It's not really propelling income, but I literally keep to a set layout and then I just change the pictures and that's about it. So, but I did realize that my everything was uneven still, and so I took my ruler and I said, "That's it. I'm gonna make it all even today," and I did. So hopefully it's more than ever. In the preview though, it looks like it might still be uneven, so I probably need to buy myself a hard copy version to make sure. But anyway, that's another issue in itself. Um, I also need to buy a professional camera, one that takes really, really good pictures because the ones that I'm taking aren't actually any good. So any pictures really, they're kind of sucky pictures here. I do have a really good camera, but I don't have my stuff out of storage, and so I don't have it at all. And I'm so scared to bring my stuff out here. Either way, I'm also scared of the tornadoes that are coming. I'm so convinced that there is one coming, even in my dreams. Like I'm thinking, when is the tornado kind of coming? Or, expecting to open my window one day and there's a tornado outside. Or worse, waking up to the sound of crashing and then you realize a tornado just hit the house. Either way, I'm sort of very nervous. I don't even want to stay here for like a whole week by myself. Last time I had the dog, but this time I probably won't have the dog, and then I'll be like, what will I do if a tornado comes and no one else but me is here? I'll be screaming, and then I give up, and then I'd say, that's it, I'm not living here anymore, because that's my master plan, to either move before the tornado comes or just move in reaction to a tornado and be like, that's it, I don't want to live here anymore. But you can argue it took so long for the tornado to come. Who's to say that it will take another year before another one comes? So, and then everyone will say you're overreacting. And I'm like, probably, but I don't want to live in a tornado zone. Like everywhere essentially is a tornado zone because where I want to move to has had tornadoes too, but not as big as this one. So I don't know. It's all out in the air. And the other thing I'm preparing for is Easter. Last couple of days looking for Easter eggs. I think I have a pretty good clutch of them. And so I found all these ones on the internet, which I can send off to various people. Yeah, I got a gift card on eBay, so I'll probably use eBay. I've got a gift cards for some other websites, which I'll probably use. I can choose out of Target, I can choose JB Hi-Fi, and I can choose Myers. Either way, I'm not spending a cent on anyone's presents. I'm just using gift cards. So makes things nice and cheap. So I'm back on my machine thing. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Did I say it was still raining? It's not really anymore. It's still overcast, but it's not really raining. I was going to say something more, but I forget what it was. So, with that in ado, I guess I better venture off and do other stuff. It was just about massage. I used my massager this morning because I wake up and I realized, I need to use my massager again. I'm using it a lot more, and I've got like a lot of aches and pains all over my body. And so I've got to do my back again. I've got to do everywhere else again. I was like, it's all in my master plan of getting my body feeling good, because my body just seemed to come to a stage where it felt like a twig. And so I'm like, that doesn't feel very good. Like, I literally find it very hard to feel very supple, and I think it's because I just haven't had any kind of style of muscular relaxation for a very long time. And so I'm like, oh. And since we kind of baths here, I had to go buy massages. So I think I'm slowly needing out all the issues that my body probably contains. Like, this morning I had like the sorest spot on my arm, but the more I do it, the better I feel. So maybe eventually, like, all these issues, which I thought were just permanent issues from drinking something, maybe they'll all go away, and maybe they were all like tight muscle or something all along, and I just didn't realize it. Because I have been sleeping on floors, and I have been sleeping on surfaces which suck in the past, and I just didn't I thought it was like a growing ailment, not an issue from muscle strain or something. So I'm like, I've been like having all these things for years, and so I'm like, well, wouldn't that be funny if everything goes away after using this? Because I felt really good the first day I used my massaging machine, and it might not be true. I mean, whatever I feel might be some sort of ailment, but I don't know. But you know, if all these aches and sores and stiffness, you know, and various joints and muscles, you know, go away, I'll be like, oh, I was just like, you know, wound up really tightly. I was just like strained or something. I'd be like, that would be strange, because I thought it was like an issue which remains undiagnosed, because no practitioner really realizes that I have anything wrong with me. So, you know, other than a few things that I have been taken into past. So I'm like, wouldn't that be strange that I've just been stressed out for all these years and I haven't realized it? And so I haven't really gotten massages, and I haven't massaged anything, and it's like, wouldn't it be strange if that's all just like built up muscle strain or something? So I'm yet to find out more about that. But anyway. But thankfully I don't have to work until tomorrow, because I think I was just about to go mad. At one person I just wanted to snap, and they sort of seemed to realize that I was getting pissed off at them, and they started to actually give me some customer service rather than give me a hard time. So they stopped saying, I can't hear you, and they suddenly could hear me perfectly. I think my attitude just got more like narky. I was like, but I just wanted to scream at them, literally. They were being so rude. And then they stopped playing this little, oh, I can't hear you kind of game. And then they actually did whatever I asked them to in the first place. And then they had no more hearing issues. So, saying that, I was looking on the internet for like headsets today, because I want one that sort of amplifies your voice really loud. Because I hate having to feel like I need to talk louder, and I sort of wanted one that you can whisper into and the other person can hear you just fine. So I'd love to get that kind of really good microphone quality going on, but I don't know. I don't even know if I need it, because a lot of people can hear me just fine, but some people can't. And I'm like, well, maybe I should spend like $100 on some sort of headset that's really expensive, because I never spend $100. I usually spend $20 to $35 or something, a lot lower. And then I'm like, maybe I should buy like a really expensive one and be like, see if that makes any difference. Because I've never done that. I never buy expensive things, so I always think they're just like the same crappy quality as the less expensive things, and so I don't bother. And I'm like, I get surprised when things are actually work better, because a lot of times you just feel like you're paying more for the brand as opposed to the quality. So I just usually stick to kind of cheapy or mid-level pricings, and nothing really expensive, nothing atrociously expensive. But I think $100 for a headset is really, really expensive. I've never really sort of spent that much on a headset, and I essentially don't need to, but I was just thinking maybe I should. I found this one for gaming, which was like, I don't know what the base of it looks like, because if it has two little things that go in two little holes rather than just a plug-in USB kind of thing, it's like, I don't want it, but it looked nice and pretty. I was like, well, if that works, I like that one. That one's like $100. Like, literally just $100 even. So. But, I don't know. No idea. But I did my job today, and I had better results than any other day I've had in the last month. And all the employee could do was scold me, and so I was, for a little bit at the end of my shifts, I was like seeing little red inside my little beady eyes. Like, I was like thinking of like Terminator and how their eyes turn red, and I was like, I felt like my eyes just wanted to be red, because I was so pissed off that I was getting sort of told what to do better, as though I was making no success at all, when I virtually just had a really good day with more success than any other day I've had in the last month. And I'm like going, you can't, take time to appreciate what I've, the positive results, as opposed to, listening to me talk to people who just don't want to talk to me at all, and having a stream of them, and them saying, oh, it doesn't look like you're doing very well. Maybe I suggest you change your initial approach. Instead of saying that, they could say, oh, you've done like, there's so and so many leaps into a higher KPI than any other day of the month. I mean, they didn't pick up that. They just said, oh, I've been noticing you're not really, doing very well with talking to people. Well, it's like, I'm doing very well. I've got more results than any other day. But it was because like everyone I talked to for like half an hour was like just basically getting narky and turning down the phone, and then they're like, you're not doing well. And it's like, what do you mean I'm not doing well? You can't appreciate my total efforts and see how I've improved. And so I hate it when employees do that. All they do is turn to be narky, as though that they haven't noticed that your performance has actually improved, and then you're like pissed off that no one notices your performance, and that you're just going to get fired anyways, no matter how well you do. So I was I was thinking a lot of pissed off thoughts. So I was thinking about a lot of angry thoughts. I was thinking about, the way a previous career had slumped because of a lot of things, and then I was thinking about how I hated everyone that I knew, and then because they helped to crack down all my efforts towards a career, and that sort of made its influence on the people who were running my career, and then they didn't want to support me at all in the end. So I was sort of pissed off about that at some time today. And then I was pissed off that at my employer, because I didn't seem to really notice that I was doing quite well, better than other days. And I was sort of fantasizing about what other employees I could work for like a whole hour. And the aspect of tornadoes hitting this area, and that I still need to get out of it, otherwise I'll probably meet a tornado someday. And then I was thinking about like ex-boyfriends, how something about them was pissing me off today. I guess, the fact that they just, accuse you of certain things, and they're really pig-headed, and then they just, everything's just in a master plan for an excuse to run off with one of their friends. So, so I was sort of pissed off about that for some reason. I haven't had a boyfriend in a really long time. So, as you can see, it's like unfounded pissed offness. You're just pissed off at pretty much everything, and then you're suddenly like just pissed off. But yesterday I was thinking about boyfriends that I could meet one day, but today I was just pissed off at boyfriends I used to have, and I was like, I know I haven't had a boyfriend for over 10 years, probably more like, but for some reason they pissed me off today. As I was thinking, partial hatred towards ex-boyfriends for like a half hour before I calm myself down. I can only go so far getting pissed off before I feel like I'm doing myself injustice, and then I'm taking all like the vitamins and everything that I can to just get everything balanced again, and then I drink a lot of water, and then I'm like, okay, now I can just concentrate on my day. But I literally just wanted to run away from work because it sucks so bad. Like, there were so many people who just didn't want to talk to me, and I was like, I hate people when they don't want to listen to you. It's like, you just say, hi, can I speak to so and so, and everyone's like, oh, they can't hear that all of a sudden, and so they're just going, who are you, where are you from, and then they're like, who are you again, oh, and where are you from, oh, why are you calling? It was like, literally, you just need to talk to one person. They're like, oh, anything I can do? Oh, tell me more about why you're calling, and then I'll see if I can help handle it. No, it's better off going towards the so-and-so who's the name that you said in the first place, and then they're like, well, they're not here. And so you spend like 15-20 minutes talking to someone who is just asking questions, and then it's like, finally they say, oh, they're not here. So, and imagine that being done over and over again. All these people are like going blasé, that as though they didn't even hear that you've asked for someone specific, and then they're like, some of them just slammed down the phone, others just said, oh, we don't do that, we don't talk about these things, and slammed down the phone, and then others are like, they're not here. So it was a very tedious day. I literally was so pissed off I went to scream, but I didn't. I keep holding myself together, just taking a little break though is the best. That's how you keep it together, otherwise you might end up having a breakdown or something. But I'm like, this is only day 2 of the 4 days that I'm working this week, and I'm like already sick of it. And next week I put myself available for 7 days, and so I'm like, I hope I don't get them, because I literally think I'm gonna like rupture like my whole entire energy from signing up for too many days. I was like, this isn't what a person should be doing for a living. And so I was thinking about other businesses, and I did have a really good business idea. I've had several great business ideas, but I did have another of a good business idea that you can do directly from home, but it didn't work because I had been usurped by whoever had helped to fund me. But in the future, if I ever start that business again, say if I get like a good amount of money from winning a lotto or something, because I don't know how else I'm going to win a substantial amount of money, I might start that business again, because it's actually quite a good business, and it was starting to do quite well. It got on its feet really quickly, and I'm like, well, that's something I can do when I have enough money, but I never have enough money. I'm always like leaning away, and I'm like, yeah, that is something I could do. So I'll probably start it again in the future, if I ever get my hands on a substantial amount of money. You always have to do something, and businesses are great. I also had a juice place that I managed when I lived on a property. I had this little juice hut. I had created it myself. And the only thing that went wrong with it is that I moved from just juicing to bottling, and the bottles weren't sanitized to the point where it didn't grow bacteria. And so I was like, it was a big failed effort, but I think if I just stuck to juicing, that would have been quite popular and I probably would have made a big bunch of money, but I could pick that up in the future because that's quite simple. You just grow yourself an orchard and juice things, and then that would be like simple and easy, but you have to look after a farm. I can grow the orchard and get volunteers to pick fruits as part of a little government thing, but I don't know. But I don't really want to do that kind of thing because I don't necessarily like face-to-face businesses. I'd rather do like the online kind where you're just like a secret sender and then you don't have any interaction with anyone. So I like the idea of no interaction with anyone but saying that, doing your own juicing business, that works like a charm. Just don't go into bottling because then they'll close everything that you know, and then you'll fail where you would have originally have succeeded. So I felt like, yeah. But all these people like scum up to you. They come up and try and tell you what to do, and then the law they don't always uphold to get people away from you if you're having a problem with people. And so sometimes they just go, we can't do anything about this. You'll have to deal with it yourself. As everything's like so rocky, and if you don't really have like well set brains, or it helps if you're a part of a team, but you can get jumped by all these people who suggest this and suggest that, and if you're dumb enough to think no, that's a good idea, then you end up failing your own business ideas. So I don't know, but anyway, the world's still a list of endless possibilities, I guess. Now that I've jabbered on enough though, I probably should get back to what else I'm supposed to be doing, which is basically exercising. Because I've done a whole day of sitting on my butt and I need some escape. I need some escape, some relief, some de-stress, all the things exercise brings. And later, I'm going back to editing my thing, and then I'll submit it, I think, later tonight. I just need to read through a 1,000-worded document. No biggie. And then I just send it in for to see what people think of it, and then I'll get my feedback by tomorrow. There's no hurry for it though. I probably can't even deal with the feedback until Saturday anyways. Because I'm so busy with work. It's like I couldn't be bothered. You're lucky if I read anything in the evenings and I have the spare time to. The last thing I ever want to do is turn on my computer. So even playing games on my computer, it's like I couldn't be bothered. I'll do it in the morning when I wake up. That's what I did today. I was like playing games on my computer before I started work because I had 25 minutes to spare.